It's impossible to lose weight because there actually is no such thing. Losing weight isn't like a dumbbell or a barbell that you carry around and you can put down and walk away from. You don't lose weight. First of all, we're not even talking about weight. That is what happens in starvation when your fat stores are used up and your body starts to use your muscle mass for fuel, because it can do that. We're not talking about losing weight. We're saying I have too much fat. Well, the reason you have too much fat is because you're always accumulating. So it's pointless to try and get rid of it. It's like a bucket that's like a boat that's taking on water. It is ridiculous to try and keep emptying it out at this phase. You're never going to get anywhere. If you put down the paddles just to keep bailing, you're never going to be able to go anywhere. You have to just sit there and bail and bail and bail. Before you know it, you're springing more leaks and then you're working even harder. You need to address the problem. And you need to address the problem by plugging the leaks, because that's a metabolic problem. So we have to adjust our metabolism. You do not lose weight. And you cannot use weight if you're in fat storage mode, because anything that comes in gets stored in the fat. So you have to create an environment, some changes to your habitat, that fat is now available to be used for food. And the body might protest a little bit, but not longer than a week or two, where it says, I would rather have candy, just like a 3-year-old. And you say, well, yeah, I would rather have candy too, but you're not going to have candy, so you get dinner. And your dinner is your fat stores, and that's what you should be using to burn for fuel. So when you cut down this easy sugar in the environment, lots and lots of carbohydrates that are fat storage mode promoting, sugars and starches primarily is what I'm talking about. When you want to release weight to be burned, then when that level drops in your body, then the insulin isn't coming out, the blood sugar isn't so high, and during that time, the body has no choice but to start to try and use fat stores. Of course, in the history of humankind, we would have lived off fat all winter long, because there isn't much sugar in nature and there's none in summertime. So when Santa started to come to bring candy canes, you'd have one little break, but otherwise that's it. Nothing in the winter, no sugar. Once the fruit is gone, the sugar's gone. There's just honey and fruit. And milk. Those are the only sources of sugar in nature, and they're seasonal and they go away, and when they're gone, then we have to use fat. So we are completely and totally designed to use fat as a form of fuel, but our brain is totally and completely designed to love sugar and pursue it when it's available. So it will kick and scream a little bit and say, eat that instead, because we work so much better. So you eat it, you have a little pick-me-up and say, wow, it really did work. I feel so much better after I've had the sugar. And that's your brain knowing what it needs to do to tell you to get its little candy. So it will use whatever trick works for you. Whatever trick works for you might not work for me, and whatever trick works for me might not work for you. But our brains quickly figure out what's the thing that's going to get you to get a little bit of sugar. What's the thing? Do you need to feel bad? Do you need to feel justified? Do you need to feel like you've been good all day? Whatever those feelings are, your brain will send you these messages. You were so good, or you're so deserving, or poor you, or it doesn't matter. It will know what gets you to eat the sweet treat, and whatever works, that's the one it's going to keep sending over and over and over.